Alright, it's Dan here again for a review of Transformers Animated Grimlock. And for those out there who really did not like the animated series, as in, not G1, because it isn't G1 enough, just keep quiet, it was a pretty good series. I mean, if you think about the G1, yeah, it set the foundations for Transformers to come, but it was kind of a wobbly foundation. Kind of like, building a house on sand or whatever. Anyway, it's Grimlock. It's a T-Rex with. Actually, that's a pretty fun gimmick. I could keep me busy for hours. He's coming. It's like Jurassic Park, except he's mechanical. Yeah. As you just saw by the lack of my skill at moving things across the floor, he has got articulation in the legs, which is kind of crazy. 360 here. I guess that's something like 45 degrees there. Almost 180 there, and some articulation in the toes. To stand him upright without making him look goofy, you do have to sort of wiggle it around a little bit. It can work. It can work. He's even got the spindly little dinosaur arms. Yeah, that's one of the first problems I have with this mode. It's kind of made up of panels. I'm not sure, and if you move one, it moves most of his back section, and you have to click it together. My other complaint would be, Grimlock's playing peekaboo. You can basically see him there when you do that. You can see his head in the chest here when my thumb wasn't over it. Let's see, a bit of a size comparison. Let's see. Here's his fellow Dinobot Swoop. Is that on camera? I can't tell. Yeah, fellow Dinobot Swoop, and the first Transformer I ever had, who I still love both the character and the figure to bits. Beast Wars not Grimlock, duh. Beast Wars Megatron. As you can see, he's about, I don't know, kind of small for Voyager alt mode, but then again, he is standing up on legs, so it's excusable. Anyway, transformation. Transformation is actually kind of fun, especially if you do stop motions, because you can sort of transform him in a way where he's always on the ground. I don't know if I ever decide to do a stop motion. I guess I can show you. Anyway, to transform him, first thing I usually do is I pull up these arm panels here. It just sets everything free. He's sort of front heavy. He kind of explodes when you do that. You can then take the tail, split it down the middle. The first time you do this, I've heard that it can stick, but that didn't happen on mine. Flip the tail up, connect it to these little tabs on the sides here, and they will form his shins. You then flip out this part here. This is a very similar transformation to his G1 counterpart, so I don't know, I think they did that so it can keep the G1s from complaining too much. If you haven't seen animated and you want something that's, it fleshes out the characters a lot, I'd suggest go watching it. DVDs, illegal YouTube viewings, it depends. I'd suggest TV because the picture quality is a heck of a lot better. Let's see. Yeah, after you've folded these bits up to make his heels and back of the leg, you can then stand him up like that, and you can pretty much see his robot mode right there. You then fold his little arms into these panels. The head of the dinosaur mode is on this clip here, on this little piece. You dislodge it from that. You can see there's a hole there, and I'm not sure if you can see there's a clip there. You can clip that in place. It's a really loud click. I don't know. You then slide up the torso, which usually straightens this stuff out as well. There's a hole on the back here, tab here, plug that into the back. This also keeps the torso from sliding about too much. The arms, yeah, they look goofy right now. You slide them into the hips here, well, the shoulders I guess they are now. Fold up the claws, I'll do the same one this time. And I'm not sure if this has happened to anyone else, but the first time I got this guy, the little edge here kept on rubbing against this, but that sort of fixed itself now. And fold up the claws, fold down the arms, and you've got robot mode. It's not a bad robot mode actually. I like it. It's big, it's bulky. He's got the really big chin. It's Grimlock, you know. Articulation. He's got 360 at the shoulder here. He's got, I guess that's just over 90 degrees at the elbow. He's got no lateral movement, but he's got 360 wrist articulation. Head, I guess, looking at that's about 90 degrees head articulation. It's sort of stopped by the huge chin and this sort of crest piece. He's got 360 at the waist. His legs do that, but you can straighten them out. Legs go about that far forward. They do go back. They can go out like that. He can sort of do a karate kick type thing. I don't know. Bends at the knees. Sort of folds out at the knees. That's due to transformation. It does rotate, but it's that weird sort of rotating where it's below the joint, so it doesn't. Like, say if the rotating's above the joint, he'd be able to sort of put his leg up like that, bend it, and sort of, you know, have it go over like that. He can do that sort of, but that's due to the weird sort of transformation thing in his leg. The tail is kind of loose, so I wouldn't fiddle with his legs too much. Actually, I really do like this robot mode. It's pretty tall for a Voyager. Let's see, size comparisons. Here he is next to his fellow Dinobot buddy Swoop. I can get him to stand up, and Beast Wars Megatron. He's about an average Voyager size. You know, he's a pretty good size. I mean, it's Grimlock. He's meant to be big, bulking, and he's basically meant to be the roughhouser. Let's see. He does come with this fire sword, where there's nowhere to store it in dinosaur mode, except on the box it does say you can put it in his mouth to make it look like he's breathing fire, but you know, it doesn't work. Let's see. There is a peg in his palm, his right palm. So that's part of a little gimmick where you put the sword in. There's the handle here sticking out. As you put this sword in the slot, close up the hands. You know, he's holding his fire sword. There's also a gimmick where if you just do this from the side, like that, it's his fire sword. If you twist it far enough, you hear a click, and then there's fire coming out of it. It's a nice little fun gimmick, and I guess it can be good for things like displaying play value, things like that. You know, it's pretty fun. Also, something I like about the fire sword is, I'm not sure if you can tell, but at the bottom it's black, like, you know, the cold, cool rock. And then as you go up, it's sort of, there's less paint, and it's molten at the top. That I just really like that detailing. And to get rid of the fire, there's a button at the back here. You just slide that down, and the fires go back in, and with a click, the fire's back. So yeah, that's animated Grimlock. One of my favourite Autobots, one of my favourite series, so I guess this makes him my favourite Autobot. He's pretty fun. He's pretty similar to his G1 self, which I guess would keep some people quiet. I don't know, for some reason, there's some things that I don't like about this figure, but I can't help but love it. It's that weird thing. Anyway, that's enough talk from me. Dan signing out, and I'll be back whenever I feel like doing a review. See ya!